This is it, the 5th and final portal.
Ooh, at last! We've been working very hard, and I think it's about time we had things go our way for once.
This is Lands of Lore 3, a fantasy RPG developed by Westwood back in the late 90s. You join us late in the game, just as we're about to explore the Temple of Nod. We'll have some dead air later on, so we'll fill in the context as we go, but for now, notice the cyborg parts scattered around the portal. The portal itself, you'll notice, is dragging Copper towards it. So yes, instead of your standard intro, let's jump straight in and follow along with the game. I'm doing this to showcase this neat CNC themed dungeon after we had a brief look at it in our recent Cabal lore video. If you look carefully here, we can see what appears to be a First Tib War Hand of Nod on the right. Welcome to the Shattered Desert. Immediately after the game's long loading screen, we're set upon by creatures called Picodons, which are pretty tough mutant fauna. It's worth saying though that the mutants of this world appear to have been altered by nuclear fallout rather than by Tiberium. It seems that the world Copper and his familiar find themselves in is likely a bad ending timeline, rather than the canon Tiberium universe, and perhaps some time way off into the future, so don't take these events too seriously with regards to CNC continuity. If we head back, crystals like these are scattered about the desert, in which we find these hot beads. This is likely a reference to Tiberium, but it's not clear that it actually is the same. It could just be something formed from the fallout. We can also see the journal entry for the Picodons here. As we move on, we start to encounter mutant humans. Again, it's unclear whether these are mutated by Tiberium or nuclear radiation. I have a feeling it's the latter, so don't confuse these for the forgotten. On this ledge, we get our first glimpse of more advanced technology. In the medieval fantasy setting of Lands of Lore, these exposed cables are quite unusual. Goldie here is just sort of hanging out. Of the 4 available familiars, I went with Goldie the Glitter Fae. I thought she'd be the best for the footage I needed, since a fairy familiar kind of evokes The Legend of Zelda. I quite like that style. This Picodon was attacking the mutant. They'd sort of aggro on everything. If anyone is developing CNC mods and are thinking about adding more Tiberium fauna, maybe consider the Picodons. Ooh, a ladder. A crashed GDI Orca fighter. You'll notice this is the Orca model from the Second Tiberium War. There's the temple.
This looks like it leads somewhere important.
Neat! I wonder if there's anyone home. I'm hungry.
Ah yes, there are some Picodons here. You're supposed to encounter the last man inside, but since he was attacked, he aggroed on me as well.
Huh? What the heck are you doing here?
Hun? Ruta sol setba.
Huh? I don't understand you. Speak more clearly, please.
Betown net sol randat fouden.
That's no better.
Kum dan senap. Much better. Can you understand me now, Scaleskin?
Loud and clear.
My name's Falden. Falden Moore. What brings you this way? I thought I was the last man.
Last man?
Last anything, I suppose. Been years since I've seen another face that wasn't twisted up and covered with warts.
That's a weird talking machine you have there. How's it work?
Beats me. I found it inside. Place here was dead until just recently. Then a hole opened up this place, and now I've got water, food, and all sorts of other comfortable stuff. Quite a lucky stroke, actually. I don't think I could have lasted much longer out there in the sand.
I have to go inside. What is this place?
I don't know nothing about it, except I wouldn't go down much further. There's some invisible person in there, and they keep talking to me, but I can't see him.
Well, thanks for the warning, but I've got no choice. I've got to explore at least until I find the shard I'm looking for.
If you gotta, I'll give your corpse a decent burial if I find you.
Yeah, then after the conversation ends, he continues attacking
That
me.
should light things up.
Figures. I find the only other human left and he's an idiot.
He seems nice enough. No oranges, though. And he sounds funny sometimes.
You little creep!
You look like a nice kid. Take my advice and don't come around here after dark. Sunset comes, you want to be hid.
This is seemingly a bug with the AI, probably caused by the Picodons earlier. He just buggers off after this. The front room appears to be entirely blocked off, but we can interact with this switch on the wall. You can hear a laser here. Not sure what it's firing at. Here I switch out the crossbow for a fire staff. You acquire it pretty early on and it's really powerful, very good against the defense turrets inside the temple. This appears to be a garage, complete with Nod attack cycles from the Second Tiberium War. You'll notice there's no music here. There is supposed to be. I think the music in this game was mainly done by David Arkenstone, the guy behind the House Harkonnen music in Emperor Battle for Dune, while Frank contributed a handful as well. I had the music turned off since I was grabbing this footage for the Cabal video.
The belly of the whale. Great.
Warning. You have entered a secured area. Please present appropriate identification before leaving.
Huh? Hello?
To the entrance hall immediately and present proper identification.
Show yourself.
That would be impossible.
So, you can hear me. What do you want? Have it your way.
I'll have to apologise here, the sound effects in this level are really rather loud, while the voices are comparatively quiet. I tried to balance them, but I didn't really have much to work with. I was stuck in this room for a while, but you can pile up all the TVs against this wall to get through.
All defensive systems activated. All personnel must evacuate. Prepare for internal purge.
Come and face me. I can see past your wizard's tricks.
Wizard. I am not a wizard. You must go back.
I will not go back. I must find the shard.
Shard. You refer to the device that has awakened me. It is required. If you attempt to remove it from the temple, you will be destroyed.
Temple? Are you a god?
God. As you understand the definition, yes. I am a god. And you are to be my sacrifice.
This looks interesting.
Wow, can I see that? Maybe I could ride on it or use it to chase butterflies
Yeah,
with.
Goldie's quite chatty. Here we find the boomstick, a Nod rifle. It's actually not very useful in this temple. I tried it out, but the fire staff is way better against these turrets. This appears to be a cyborg construction room. In one of these tube rooms, we find the body of a cyborg.
This is a glass eye.
Wow, is that a marble?
Naturally, copper nicks the eye, which we can then use to activate this door. With all the turrets down, we can then take down these terminals to deactivate the shield.
Now let's see how godlike he is.
Backup systems activated. You have no idea who you're dealing with, do you?
Incidentally, since it was mentioned earlier, the Shard. The portal we used to get here was caused by the Shining Path, which is a dimensional mirror that allows characters in Lands of Lore to travel to other realms. The mirror was shattered earlier in the game, which is why Copper is looking for shards of this mirror. Cabal needs it for something.
Do you have any blueberries? I'm hungry.
Hello again.
This game has way too much parkour than the engine should allow for. Such as... yeah, that was a bit rubbish. Bit of trivia while we're here, Lands of Lore 3 released a few months ahead of Tiberian Sun in 1999. This makes it the first ever appearance of Cabal. He was voiced by the late Milton James, who had a few other roles across Lands of Lore 2 and 3, and reprised the voice of Cabal throughout Tiberian Sun and into Firestorm. This, by the way, is one of the weirdest doors I've ever seen in a game.
Where is this person?
It's a talking room. It's a room that talks. Hey you, Mr. Room, where's your face?
Show yourself.
Behold my glory.
What the
Bow down before me. Observe my sacrament. Brotherhood, unity, peace.
I don't think so.
Activate core defense systems. Shield system stable.
The boomstick does come in handy here destroying the shield systems, but for the turrets you're better off using the flame staff.
Shield systems nominal. Shield systems critical. Shield systems destroyed.
With all four down, let's go confront Cabal. By attacking these cores, we can cause this ghostly image of Cabal to appear.
Main grid critical. Main grid destroyed. Activate backup protocols.
Oh, I've missed one.
Main system failure. Shut down.
I have no idea what that was, but I'm glad it's dead.
So this is the only time we see Cabal's avatar in-game. For the Cabal lore video, I wanted to end with a showcase of all the avatars across the games. It turns out the file format Lands of Lore 3 uses isn't well understood, and so no one has been able to extract that animation from the game files. When it plays in-game, the screen shakes wildly and the image itself has a very low opacity for most of it, which makes it very unclear. You also get a stack of experience, so every time it plays, I level up, which gets in the way as well. So the only choice would be to recreate this avatar from scratch. I sent this stabilized footage to Alice, a friend of mine, along with this tiny image from the in-game journal, and asked if she'd be able to help, and very kindly she did. Alice, by the way, has her own channel. She does some very insightful video essays and analyses on films. Please go send her my thanks because she did an excellent job. This is our recreation, which was only possible thanks to her help.
Thought you were rid of me, didn't you?
Back to the game, you'll notice the shard at the bottom left during the quake.
I have no idea what that was, but I'm glad it's dead.
This is how we return to the lands after each dungeon. However, this time, Jekyll, a recurring character in these games, is waiting for us.
What? Jekyll!
Hey, what happened? How come we didn't go back to the caves like those other times?
Thought you were rid of me, didn't you? Systems primed. Core dump protocols activated. Core will achieve critical mass in 15 minutes. Goodbye, Dave.
Dave? My name's not...
Time for the dramatic escape before the whole temple explodes. And I immediately fell down a hole.
Oh, those are the words I was waiting to hear. This is a bad place, Copper, and we should get out of here as fast as we can and never come back.
Let's hurry!
Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go! Come on, Copper! Shouldn't you use your journal?
Yeah, Goldie talked over the big dramatic explosion. Ah well. As we head back, we encounter the last man. I'm not sure whether his death is scripted or if he ran into more Picodons. At any rate, that was the Shattered Desert and Cabal's Temple of Nod from Lands of Lore 3. If you want to try this game for yourself, it's available on both GOG and Origin. It plays well enough on Windows 10, though things like Alt-Tab might behave strangely, and the loading screens are pretty long. At least you don't have to switch CDs though. If you want to skip straight to the Shattered Desert, I've uploaded all my saves from that playthrough. You can find those in the description. My name is Stefan. Thank you for watching.